Super. So everybody, before we get started, can everybody take out their phones, please? You know the story with me and social media. Take a photograph of the screen that I have because it really depicts what we are going to talk about today. And that is, how do we emerge from a crisis? Okay, so take a photo, and really it's like a butterfly. That's what you can describe it like. Okay, something that emerges, and a butterfly becomes something beautiful and magnificent. And that is what we're looking for from this emergence that we are going through at the moment in the crisis that we are experiencing. We want a beautiful outcome. Okay, please, if you can, tag us on Facebook. Okay, so you're going to tag Spa Professionals Guild. And then just a little tip there, there's a lot of words on Facebook that start with the word spa. So you actually have to type out the whole name until you see the logo. Chungo's going, yes. Because it doesn't come up immediately, not until we've climbed the ranks in Facebook, okay? So the more you help us, the quicker we climb those ranks so people can find us quicker. But you'll find, you type out the whole name, you'll see our logo, and the more you do it, the higher up in the ranks we go, and the quicker you'll see it. And then please tag me as well, Marisa Kachiro Dimitriades on Facebook, and our spa consultants as well. And then on Instagram, we have at Spa Professionals Guild, and please tag my coach page, which is Spa Business Coach Online. I would love you to tell the world what it is that you're doing today. You're learning, you're growing, you're getting business, you are equipping your toolbox, your business toolbox, to be able to emerge out of the crisis in a better place than what you were before. Okay, so it's very important as well, both from your perspective, your staff's perspective, and your customer's perspective, that they see that you as a business owner are taking this quite seriously and wanting to get new ideas and how to grow and how to emerge. Okay, so our community is growing, which is so wonderful to see. We have over 50 members in our community, and today we actually started module 3 with another group of learners. So we currently have 3 modules running. Okay, the first module, I'll take you through them in a second. And what's great and encouraging to see is that the number of countries represented is also growing. So at the moment, we have learners and professionals from Angola, Swaziland, the United States, Cape Town, Klerksdorp, KZN, Gauteng, Zanzibar, Oman, Limpopo, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So that is awesome. Okay. So it's 7 modules, which is what you learn as you go along. The 7 modules cover different aspects of running a spa or salon business. Just very quickly, so that some of you who don't know what these modules include, you can see what is in it and what is part of it. Okay, so we've got our module 1, which starts with the foundation of the business, and that is you as the owner or manager. Some of you have been through that module already, and some of you are currently going through that module, okay? But we start off very differently to any other business training courses, is we introspect first, okay? So we have a look inward first, we have a look at the foundation of the building, because really what we want to do is make that foundation so solid that we're able to build a skyscraper. Then module 2 covers everything to do with staff, okay? Some very interesting ideas and tips, and we just had the last group share with us what their best takes of module 2 and the staff module was, so that was very encouraging. And then module 3, which group 1 has just are on the verge of starting, which is really about revenue management and finances, I was saying to them earlier on, it's my most difficult module because I'm not naturally a numbers person. Even though I love to look at numbers, I'm not great at finding them, okay? But once I've got them in front of me, I can make decisions pretty quickly. But this module is super, super important as well. Module 4 is a toolbox module, okay? It's absolutely full of tools for you, and tools that you're going to use for the rest of your career. Whether you stay an owner or you move on to being a manager, it's really tools that you can use in any business that you're in to be able to do various things in your business, okay? Module 5 is probably my worst module because it's standard operating procedures and they are exhausting. We call it the artery of your business or the Bible of your business. Probably the most important document you'll ever own in your business, but it is the toughest and the roughest to get out of. And then we've got module 6 that covers marketing and sales, which is also absolutely and totally interesting. Don't forget as well, we have a dynamic employee wellness guide. This is really important. If you're not running some sort of wellness initiative in your business, you are going to get into trouble, because the simple reason right now is that every single one of us, from our staff to us, okay, to you as owners and managers, are dealing with a troubled mind. We have no choice because we are living in a troubled and volatile economy at the moment. And if we are not doing something to support that, we will get into trouble, okay? Because our staff won't cope and they will have breakdowns. They'll then transfer this energy that they are feeling onto your customers. And that in turn, I mean, who wants to go for a massage and come out of the massage feeling totally stressed out because they've just heard about how the therapist's house got flooded and the dog bit the neighbor? And I mean, really, that would be a complete disaster. But the bottom line is that is what happens sometimes in our businesses. And that is why these wellness initiatives are really not to be taken lightly. They're little things that you can do every day or every week for that matter to make sure that the brain space of your staff is in the right place to transfer the right energy. And that is uplifting energy, calming energy. That's the kind of energy that your client wants to feel. Okay? And then most of you are following your COVID resource packs, where you've got all your SOPs, your standard operating procedures, and your guidelines for sanitation and disinfection in your business. So we encourage you, because there are some of you on this coaching today that are not part of our community, we encourage you to join our community, to join the guild, and to access this community of like-minded professionals where we share ideas and where we also grow together as a community. So today, we are going to cover some points. Some are going to seem interesting to you and you will be open to them. And others you are going to think, oh my word, this is too strange for me. Okay. So we discussed already, and for those of you who would like to hear these, you really just need to request the recordings, okay? But they are available. We discussed the crisis map. We've been going through this over the last month. And really, when there is a crisis, there are 3 phases that a business goes through. The first phase is survival, how to simply survive through a crisis. Okay, so we discussed that about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Then we discussed how to manage through a crisis. So what are the important management tips and tools? And then today, whether you are there or not, because I'm not sure how many of you feel like you are emerging yet. In fact, I'm assuming, okay, in fact, let me ask you the question. Go into the chat box and let me know how many of you feel that you're in survival? How many of you feel that you're in managing? And how many of you feel that you're ready to emerge? So please put it in the chat box just to get an idea. And please, everybody, don't be shy about what you're putting in there. Whether if you're in survival mode, that's great. And that's what this community is there for, okay? So we have emerging, managing, surviving, okay? Swinging between managing and surviving, okay? Good. Managing, okay? Mariana, I like that. I think emerging, okay? Joanne, managing and emerging. Okay, that's very interesting because you can be between two phases, by the way. I'm in between surviving and managing. Okay, Chongo, great. Managing, almost emerging. Judy, brilliant, okay? Anybody else in there? Okay, super. So hopefully, Larika, managing, good, okay. So, I mean, if you have just reopened recently, you almost should be in survival, going from survival into managing, if you have recently reopened, okay? And if you've been reopened for a while, then you should be in managing. And some of you might take a lot longer to emerge than others. But the information that I have to share with you today, and then Jamie Lee says she's managing too. Great. The information that I'm going to share with you today, I want you to keep it in your bank of whether you're going to use it now or soon enough on tools and techniques on how to emerge out of the crisis. Okay. So before I show you and I share with you those tips, I do, however, have. So I've got 2 video clips today to share with you. And I'm going to show you these video clips from a place of complete and utter respect, okay? Because it is not saying, I am not scolding you, I am not a teacher, that is not my role, but I do want to put reality in front of you, okay? And a lot of what is going on around us is distracting people from what they should be doing and when they should be doing it. So I've got 2 different types of clips today that are going to talk into that. And I want to show you one before I give you the tips, and I want to show you the other after I give you the tips. And the reason I'm going to do that is I want to keep your mindset in the right space between the meat that I'm going to share with you. Okay, so here we go.
When I look at people, I always ask the question, I say, man, tell me what Nike stands for. They said, oh, Inc., that's easy, just do it. I said, tell me what Adidas stands for. Oh, Inc., that's easy, man, impossible is nothing. I said, now tell me what you stand for. When people look at you, do they think excuses? When people look at you, do they think victory? When people look at you, do they think that's a person that's going to give me everything they got, not on some days, but on every day, and it's not going to be predicated upon if I feel like it, because I think we all know if we only worked on the days when we felt like it, none of us would get much accomplished. I'm talking about the real level of commitment, not the commitment that falls in line if everything goes right. I'm speaking of the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the move that I've said it in his life.
See, most people, ladies and gentlemen, are stoppable. Most people, all you have to do is tell them no. All you have to do is make it inconvenient for them. All you have to do is make it difficult for them, and they're stopped. See, when you go to get your goal, don't think that all you have to do is think positive and everything's going to work out okie-dokie for you. When you go to get your goal, you're sending a telegram to Murphy's Law to visit you personally. You thought you was just going to have a dream and a goal, and you was just going to wake up and just walk into the sunset. You're like, dream, boom. It don't work like that. You have a dream, and then life punks you. Life punks you and say, do you really want this? You're going to lose friends. Do you really want this? Do you really want this? Cousins going to abandon you. People that you used to be like this with don't think you bougie, don't want to deal with you. It's a part of it, but I paid too much. If I was going to quit, I would have quit in the abandoned building when I wanted to commit suicide and take my life. I should have quit when I heard my voice say, your mama don't want you. Your daddy don't want you. Take your life. I got through that. So why I'm gonna quit over an app on a grade? Come on. And so I'm telling y'all, you have come too far to quit now. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for your pain.
And so by being committed to everything that I started, I finished it. It built a certain type of spirit. It built a certain type of mentality. It built a certain type of individual. And so now I couldn't quit even if I wanted to. I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. I had too much sweat equity in my life and everything that I was doing. You are too close to quit now. You gotta take another lap. You gotta take another lap. Because you never know. This might be the one. You can't stop because you're tired. You can't stop because you got your feelings hurt. You got to take another lap. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. You're going to make it. You're going to do it. You got an unstoppable fire. Come on, take another lap. Don't you stop. Don't stop walking.
Okay, so the message there is don't stop. Take another lap. When you feel too tired, keep going at it. Okay, so, and I'm feeling and hearing a lot to do. Everybody really has a lot to do. Okay, so before we go into today's meet, as usual, most importantly, is I want you to think about what I'm going to present to you today with an open mind. Think about it from a fresh place and remove every single excuse that might come into your brain out of it. And remember, no word such as can't, can. No word such as I will try, I will. Okay, super. So now we're going to have a look at the points and the tips on how to emerge from a crisis. The first point that is there to assist you to emerge from a crisis, very, very interesting quote that came from the Harvard Business Review. And I love this quote. And it says, build bridges between your present actions, okay, so what you are doing, and your future thinking. And I want you, and as many of you as possible, to take a picture of the different screens that I show you and keep thinking about these words, because that is something quite amazing. What you're currently doing, build a bridge between what you are currently doing and what your future thinking. Because in order, and I'll take you through a bit more of the process, but in order to emerge out of a crisis, you have to think in the future. And the point is coming shortly. You almost have to put yourself in a world that doesn't exist. And this is the first point, is be in constant exploration. So if I can describe this, like if anybody has a little child, a little 2-year-old who has just started walking, what happens to those little people at that age? And as soon as they can start walking, you can't find them anywhere. They don't stop. They are in a constant state of exploration. Looking, touching, feeling, smelling, finding, discovering, breaking. Okay, and we almost have to put ourselves in those kind of shoes. So for example, be on the watch for any amazing treatment trend that might either be coming into the marketplace or in the marketplace that you possibly haven't tapped into. But you need to constantly be exploring new, and definitely, I don't want to use the word bigger, because it doesn't have to be big, but it has to be better. It has to be different. It has to be something unique and new. And then keep learning. I mean, the fact that you are here today, you can already put a tick box next to that point. because no matter how long you have been in the industry, none of us know it all. None of us. And I'm still amazed today, after being in the industry for so long, when I listen to anything, no matter what it is, whether it's to do with our industry or I just happen to go into a podcast on business, I'm amazed at how there's something new and I'm going, oh my word, I never thought about it that way. Okay, so keep yourself in a constant state of exploration. That is number one. Number two, this is super, super interesting, because to emerge out of a crisis, you need to go back, to emerge out of anything, you need to go back to a past when you had a similar experience and how you managed to work your way out of it. Now, this is difficult because this crisis that we find ourselves in right now has no analogy to the past whatsoever. We don't have anything really to go by. I mean, we've never had a COVID before. We had swine flu a couple of years ago. I don't even remember when, but it certainly didn't cause the havoc that we are having right now. So because we have no analogy to go by in the past, it is very difficult to envision the future. And that's why everybody that you speak to, even the most absolute brilliant futurist economists, are in a state of the future is unknown. They don't know where it's going. They certainly know that trends are going to change, buying habits are going to change, but they don't know the how. They cannot predict the how. So what happens when you don't have an analogy to go by in the past is you're completely reliant on a word called judgment. And for your sake, in your business sake, you hope that you have good judgment, because good judgment is what is going to be a key factor in assisting you to emerge. Okay, and to look for all these, and especially, I mean, we've only touched on one aspect, which is be in a state of exploration. But I mean, you might be in a state of exploration and see a new treatment and think, oh my word, this is amazing. And you are using the worst judgment you could ever possibly use, because you might introduce it and it could be a disaster. So good judgment can be developed by having a community like this that you belong to, a mentor, a business coach, a brand partner, and a supplier who you trust what they say to you, and you trust that, okay, they've got some very brilliant ideas. They've been in business for a long time. They are wonderful, trustworthy type of people. So you have to be with like-minded people that have good judgment, or that you think have good judgment. And then there's a very important element of this. It's not just be there, but it's feed off it. Because being part of a community is one thing, but not being in the community, and that means active, feeding, asking, inquiring, exploring, all of those words are what is going to develop your judgment skills. Okay, I certainly feel like I've got 1,000,000 times better judgment now than what I would have 10 years ago. And I take something, I mean, I'm going to share a personal example, something as simple as like a laser machine. 10 years ago, I was blown away by just the mere information that I got. I thought, wow, this piece of equipment is unbelievable. Today, and again, it's being with like-minded people, is my judgment is very different, because I ask different questions and I look at different things. I don't just say, oh, this information looks amazing. So that is what is important about emerging from a crisis, especially when we don't have a past analogy to go by in order for us to make decisions and for us to envision what is our future going to look like. Okay. The next one is really tough. I don't know if anybody has done this before. It is something that is not natural to our industry. So I've put it there. The third point there. This is foreign to our industry because our industry doesn't do this kind of thing. I mean, imagine if a year ago I had told you all that, this was coming our way. Would you have even for 2 minutes put yourself in that scenario and thought, what am I going to do if that is the case? So scenario planning is tricky. It is identifying assumptions in your current strategy. Okay, so what am I doing right now with the expectations from implementation? Okay, so when I put myself into a scenario, and point number 2 leads on from point number 1 very closely, so I'm going to discuss them together. Imagine a dramatically different future and inhabit that completely far-fetched world. And this is why this is foreign to us. Because if I have to say to you, I don't know, imagine that one day we can only do treatments underground for whatever reason, you might think, well, that is completely off the planet's thinking. Not possible, wouldn't happen whatsoever. But this is what scenario planning is about. And let me tell you what putting yourself into these dramatically different futures and inhabiting those futures, those far-fetched scenarios, do for the people who take part in that exercise. And this is very important, that you all put your key players into a scenario planning exercise, right? And what this does is it encourages everyone to take part in talking about the future. And what is so interesting about this is that for example, I don't feel that I can put myself in a dramatically different future. I don't think like that. Yet, I have discussions with my 9-year-old daughter, and she transports me into worlds where I think that she's good. Worlds that I think, I wonder what's going on inside this child's head. But what it does spark is a discussion about, okay, if we had to live there, and this is what we had to do, how would we do it? How would we react? How would we strategize? How would we eat, etc., etc.? So it gets the key players in your business, and you might find that there are some of them that think they can put themselves in those far-fetched worlds. And secondly, most importantly, or equally importantly, is be here. It builds support for an idea which may need to be implemented in the future. Because remember, if we all had to put ourselves a year back and think about where we are today, imagine if we already had our heads wrapped around wearing masks, wrapped around taking people's temperatures and behaving in the way that we're behaving. It wouldn't seem so foreign to us when we got ourselves into that situation. So by scenario planning, and this means putting your business into different instances. What happens if we have to move premises, if we have to move home? What happens if the building burns down? What happens if... That is the kind of scenario planning that you need to do. And this encourages your team to stick closer together, okay? The next one that I found completely fascinating as well is learning from your mistakes and act on what you learn. I'm going to start with the last point first, is that most people that I speak to today, and you can all put a hands up if you resonate to this comment, want to forget about what is happening currently in the world. And I hear them say often, I actually can't wait to get this COVID behind me, and I want to forget about it, and I never want to think about it again, and I can't wait till we get back to normal. How many of you have felt like that before? You can just put a hands up if you have, okay? Now, what is important about this? I'm sure lots of you are thinking, you want to put this behind you, and you almost feel like you're in a bad dream. You want to wake up, and you want to forget about the bad dream and carry on with your day. What is important about this is that we don't do that. So I know we all want to do it, because that's when you're living in a bit of a nightmare and in a crisis, you want to get out of it and you want to forget it and move on. And I want to change your mind about it. I want you to put yourself into the crisis, and I want you to say, okay, if this happened again in 6 months' time or in a year's time, when my business is completely rebuilt again and I've worked like an absolute dog to get it there, what would I do differently? Okay, that's very important. And how could I respond differently or more effectively? Take that, all right, and implement it now. So if you say, okay, I would do differently, I'm just going to use a little example. I would communicate much more with my staff to keep them more inspired and motivated through a crisis situation. Do it now. Start that process right now. Open up the channels of communication. Find a way to communicate better with your staff. And in fact, those of you who have done Module 2, you will already be doing that. Those of you going into Module 2, believe me, when you get there, you're going to be bombarded with tools and communication techniques that you're going to implement. Okay, but please don't run away from this. Don't try and wake up from this bad dream. Stay in it a little bit longer, analyze it, learn from it, and think if there's anything that you would do different. Because this is going to help you. And look at that highlighted word on the screen. React and respond better. I haven't used the word if. And in all my research on this topic on emergence, by the way, not one of the resources that I used for information used the word if another crisis hits. Not one. They all use the word when another crisis hits. Okay, so that is quite scary for me, that they all use the word when, and we need to keep that right here. How are we going to respond when another crisis hits? What are we going to do better? The second last point, okay, is build stronger connections. Emerging out of a crisis requires partnerships. It requires collaboration in ways that you have never done before. So strengthen your connection with your brand partners, with your suppliers. Okay, and I've used a word there. They are not suppliers. They are partners in your business. Okay? And they can help you more than what you can imagine. Strengthen your connection with any businesses that you could possibly collaborate with. It is time to work with as many businesses as you possibly can right now. So look for collaborations, look for connections, and build on those strengths. And lastly is build stronger connections with your clients. Everybody that I have spoken to that started getting really, really busy. When I asked, and I had a few saying, we're not busy at all. It's actually hit a downward slide. And a few saying, oh my word, we're so busy, I don't know what to do with myself. And I love to ask questions. So I'll ask, why are you busy? And why do you think you're quiet? all the owners and managers that are busy, really busy, say to me the same thing, is Marisa, we kept in touch with our clients all the time. We have strong connections, strong bonds with our clients. And they will help lead you out of this crisis, because your clients are the ones who will say to you, hey, have you heard of this treatment? Or, hey, you know what I really want? I need a skin peel, or I need something to get rid of my pigmentation, or I need something to really, really calm and relax me, or I need something to build up my immune system. They are going to lead you out of this, because the closer your bond and your connection is with your client, the more they open up to you. The more they open up to you, they tell you what they need. And then last but not least is invest in growth. Now is the time to invest in your business, but to invest in the right places. And I just want to tell you that a pretty cushion and a gorgeous curtain and lovely teacups are not the right places to be investing right now. They are not going to make you money. So you need to look at, what is the consumer wanting? What services do they want? Are they desperate for? And I can't tell you. And I'll tell you why I can't tell you, because I'm not living in the head of your clients. So how do you find out? It's very simple. You open your mouth and you ask. You ask them, tell me what you want. What services are important to you right now? Or send out a ranking. Say, from 1 to 5, list these treatments in order of importance to you. And let your clients lead the way and show you where you should be investing right now. So at the moment, the general, what's happening in the marketplace, and this is very general, okay? So I cannot say it is exactly the same for every single area and every single country. But people are definitely after instant, I call it instant gratification, which is, another word for that is a miracle. And we don't have that, okay? But they want an instant quick fix. They want to be cellulite free in 1 hour, and they want to have flawless skin in 1 hour, okay? They want very little downtime. They're not after painful anything at this point in time, which is quite difficult, okay? And especially when you, for something, for example, like cellulite, when you're needing to treat cellulite when it's at its worst, it is a painful thing, okay? So for there to be no pain, little downtime, it's like, oh, where do we go? And also, they're looking for low touch treatments to get those type of results. The low touch will go away eventually. That is a COVID thing. But I mean, and how do I know this? How do I know what I'm saying? Is because this is the kind of feedback that I'm getting from my friends, which are consumers, and from your clients, which you are speaking to and telling me. So before you go and invest in anything, do a little business plan. Outline, especially on a return on investment. Okay, so if you're wanting to spend 50,000 Rand on brand new curtains or beautiful cushions, do a little exercise. Work out what is the return on investment on 50,000 Rands worth of pretty pot plants and cushions, or what is your return on investment on a specific new treatment or a specific something that you would like to bring into the business. Okay, but it is a good time when you are in an emergence phase to invest in the growth of your business. Okay, so not in making it look prettier. So please, I just want to make that point quite clearly. Okay, so I have a question for you that I would like you please all to go into the chat box and share your answers with me, please. And that question is, out of those 6 points that we've discussed today, which of those points resonate the strongest with you? And do you feel that you really need to give that some attention when it comes to your business being in the emergence phase. Okay, so please everybody go into the chat box, because I'd like to see what's going on in your head. I'd like to see which pointer there made the most impact to you. Okay, so Chungo is saying 5 and 6. Okay, Mariana is saying invest in growth. Fatima, 4 and 5, invest in growth. Sarah, building relationships with my brand partners, learning, training. Very, very interesting. Great. Okay, super. Anybody else? Nungo, 2, 3, and 4. I think you want all of them, right? I'm sure. Yes, not maybe, yes. All of them, Joanne. Nicole, start making changes for when it happens again. Okay, interesting. Changes or strategies? Good. Jamie Lee, 3 and 4, 4, 5, and 6 for Larika. Okay, great. Super. All right. So we move on to another little difficult, but I'm not going to harp on it. Okay, I've got a little video clip to show you. And the reason I'm showing it to you now is because I've given you more things to think about now. Like you don't have enough on your plate already. Now I'm giving you 6 ideas on tools or things to implement to help you emerge out of a crisis. Okay? So I'm going to go through 2 quotes and show you a video clip. And this one says, if you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't really want to do something, what will you find? An excuse. Okay, so before you go down the road of, oh yes, I like that, but, okay, the but always leads to an excuse. Take yourself to a place of, do I really want to do this? Okay, and do I really feel that this is important and of value to my business? And if it is, no matter how tough, no matter what your obstacles in your way, no matter how many hours of work it's going to be, you will find a way to do it. The next one, I love this, is kill your excuses. Face your fears and stop doubting yourself. You can do this. So if you're sitting in a place of, oh my word, I don't know if I can do it, you can. And how you can is by taking that first word to heart. And that is killing all the excuses that come up into your brain. And then the next one, this is very powerful. So you need to put on your listening ears here and listen to this video clip. I absolutely love it.
Jocko, I am a chronic excuse maker. How do I stop making excuses and get things done?
The chronic excuse maker. You stop making excuses. This is actually pretty simple. And I said it the other day, and you have to realize, you have to know, you have to accept that all your excuses are lies. They are lies, all of them. About the things that you tell yourself, the lies you use to rationalize taking the easy road. Taking the easy road and leaving discipline behind. Think about them. You don't have time. That's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have support. That's a lie. You don't have the equipment or the gear. Lies. You don't know the best way. Who cares? That's a lie. Or you're too old or you're too young. Of course you're too old or too young. Lie. And there's, you're too busy. Sure you are. That's a lie. And you're too tired, or you're too sore, or you're just plain not feeling it. Lies, lies, lies. And the list goes on and on and on. And it doesn't stop if you don't make it stop. So recognize the excuses are not valid. They aren't. They're trumped up. They're conjured up. They're fabricated. They're lies. And how do you stop the lies? You stop the lies with the truth. The truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will stand, and the truth will deliver you from procrastination and laziness and the downward spiral that comes with a lack of discipline. So don't believe the lies, believe the truth. And the truth is, you have time. You have the skill, you have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done. So cast out the lies, burn them down, and listen to the truth, and live the truth, and go out and get it done.
Oh my word.
Jocko.
How hectic is that? So, when I watched that video clip, I was wondering, should I share this? Shouldn't I share this? Because I found myself saying so many of the things that he said, which is, I'm too tired, or Mariana, I'm a chronic excuse maker, or I don't know, like I'm too busy, and then I watched this guy and he says that they are all lies. And I mean, he's telling the truth. So the best part of what I took from it is, and my resolve is just to say, look, I'm not doing it, finished. Not to give an excuse as to why I'm not doing it. Not doing it today, done. So that is really very interesting. And I love the part where he also says that the truth will deliver us from procrastination, which is something that affects us all, I think, is that when we know it, I mean, the tasks that we totally love, we get them done. And the ones we know that we have no choice to do, we get them done. But the real meat ones and the ones that we have to do, often we procrastinate. Okay. All right, so that's that. I really hope that besides those 6 points, I have given you lots to think about. And, you know, besides emerging from a crisis, I want to put everybody into the frame of mind, because it's what I see happening to all of us, is the constant excuse making, the constant reflection on how bombarded we are and how tired we are and how, so we're all there. But at the end of the day, if we want to get stuff done, we have to do it. It's that simple. We've got to manage our time better. If we're tired, we have to sleep a little longer or sleep less and take more vitamins. But we have to find the solutions to how we're feeling so that we can live our truths, okay, not our excuses. All right, so just to end off quickly, save the date is next week, Thursday, don't forget. What's going to be happening between today and Tuesday? So please, everybody, we need your help with this, is we are going to send out like a little poll where you're going to share your top 2 business challenges that you're facing. Okay? We're going to collate all the information from our full database, and we are going to see which are the top 2 that stand out amongst everybody. And then we are going to dissect those, and we're going to look at how to overcome those 2 top business challenges that we're facing in our industry at the moment. Okay, so that will be next week, Thursday, and it's going to be at 3 p.m., not at 3:30. All right, and then comes something very exciting. Okay, is we have some competition winners. So for those of you that are busy with your module, so module 1, or sorry, group 3, you won't be at winning prizes yet, but I'd like you to see who is winning to motivate you. Okay, so we've got group 1 and group 2 that are winning prizes. So we have the social media prize for group 1, and that goes to, let me just see who it goes to, Lynelle. Okay, Lynelle is from the USA, and good golly, Miss Molly, has she been busy on social media. So she takes the prize for the most social media posting with regards to what she is learning. And I mean, she's been really amazing. Okay, taking pictures of a module that she's busy with, or she did her SWOT analysis and took a picture, or she did a staff huddle and she took a picture of that. So that's the kind of thing that we're really wanting to see. Okay, so well done, Lynelle. Congratulations to you. And then the social media prize for group 2, okay, because remember group 3, you won't be at that point yet, but group 2, and that goes to McQueen's. So well done. I think, Jamie, you're on the call today, if I'm not mistaken. So well done to McQueen's. You've really, really done a great effort between Jamie and McQueen's as a business. Their social media posting has also been absolutely phenomenal. So well done. Congratulations. Your prize will be coming to you. Don't forget when you get your prize to please take a photo and share it on our communities group, because we really would like to see what you're up to and what you get in your prize as well. Okay. And then definitely not last, but our last prize is the job description canvas. So group 1, you will be ready with this. I mean, group 3, you are busy with this at the moment, or you've done it already, but group 2 has done it already. So the best job description canvas for group 2, that goes to Mariana. Well done. You can unmute and scream if you want, because I know you love to do that. Careful, everyone, if she does do that.
Right, you know, I was
like, well done. Congratulations. Okay, super duper. For any of you who do get the opportunity to go into the student lounges and look at those job description canvases, Group 3's winner was Joanne. She's also on this call. Joanne's job description canvas was unbelievable. And in this specific group, Mariana's job description was also great. Everybody's is good. We are obviously looking for creativity, a lot of meat, a lot of information that has gone into it. Okay, so please, everybody, feel free to go and look at those job description canvases, because you can learn a lot from looking at somebody else's work as well. Okay, all these comments, brilliant. Okay, and then last but not least, everybody, I'm going to leave you with my parting word for 2020. And I hope that a lot of you are going to make it part of your word for 2020. And I have a feeling, I don't know yet, I normally come up with a new word or a new thing every year. I don't know if this is going to stay on into 2021 because, you know, we're going through a different phase in the economy and in the world. But my words is stay obsessed and stay hungry. Because if you feel obsession and you feel hunger, you act on it all the time. All the time. Think about it. If you're obsessed about something, You even dream about the obsession. Think about it. And that's what I'd like you to do. So become obsessed about your businesses, okay? And it doesn't mean not to be obsessed about your children and your family. That's not what we're saying. But to get you out of this and for you to emerge and for us to change the industry, change the economy, change our own lives, our own personal lives, we have to remain obsessed. Okay, so thank you, everybody. If I can get everybody to go into the chat box and give me your parting word, or what was your best part of today, or how are you feeling after today's session? I would love to hear that. And yeah, and I'm sure everybody else would love to read about it too. And then we'll say our goodbyes, and I'll see you all next week. It's so exciting. Okay, so Mariana is exhilarated, Tracy motivated, brilliant. I'm so happy. Nicola, no more excuses. Yeah, I'm with you with that one. Sarah, motivated and inspired, beautiful, no excuses anymore, motivated. Have a lot of catching up to do, but I feel motivated. I am going to put these 2 video clips on our communities group, okay? Motivated, thank you, it's a pleasure. Jamie saying excited and motivated. Joanne, obsessed and hungry. I love it. No excuses. Nungo, rejuvenated by the abundance of motivation. Good. Lovely. I absolutely love those words. So I'm going to put those 2 video clips onto our community group. When you feel like giving yourself an excuse, okay, which happens to all of us almost all the time in the day, at least once or twice, do yourself a favor. Because when I watch that guy and his video clip, it actually shocks me out of my system. And I sort of backtrack and I go, actually, no, don't say that. Don't make an excuse. Do it or don't do it. Don't say you're going to try. You're going to do it or you're not going to do it. So watch those clips because they really, they put you back into the right place. Okay. And it's not a matter of watching it only once. Watch it all the time. Keep consistently reminding of yourself, because it's easy, very easy to go back into that trap. Okay, let's try and keep this frame of mind going as long as possible. Nicole, I can and I will. Good, lekker, love it. Okay, everybody, I wish you the most awesome week. If you're doing assignments, enjoy them, pour your heart into them, and have the most beautiful weekend as well. And happy learning. Keep growing. Stay obsessed, everybody. Ciao. Ciao, ciao, lao, lao. Bye, Chongo.